Hello and welcome back to the Pitwall Podcast, where today we are discussing the fact that not only has Carlos Sainz signed with Williams, but Red Bull Racing has opted to keep Checo for the rest of the season pretty quickly after the last race. So let's start with Carlos. It's kind of the quicker conversation. So Carlos Sainz signing with Williams. We've been expecting this for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's finally happened. I guess this means that he didn't have faith in Audi. I mean, what do you think about all this?
Yeah, maybe Audi didn't end up wanting him.
It's true.
I mean, like with Audi, like we have no idea what's going on with the driver other than Hulkenberg. Like,
yeah, no clue.
Sainz would have been like the optional choice. We all probably thought so. Maybe he just didn't, like you said, agree with it. Like thinking like, oh, maybe this is another Sauber moment. But maybe like I honestly, when I saw Williams, I wasn't like bummed because it's Sainz and like, you know, he drives Ferrari, so I would expect like a big team. But then you think you have James Vowles as this team principal,
right?
And Williams is also in a good trajectory, I feel like, especially with Albon. So I feel like Sainz is like there for the climb.
This is a great lineup.
Yeah.
This is like, I mean, rest in peace, Logan Sargent.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I mean, we won't have Sargent. We get to enjoy Sargent for the remainder of this season, but like,
dude, the F1 Twitter Sarge Nation people are just convinced he's gonna get another seat, and I'm like, just sit and think about that for like a minute. Yeah. Do you really think where is he gonna get a seat? Alpine? Like,
I mean, like.
Yeah, so Gasly stay. Okay, so like the seats that are open, there's a Sauber /
Yeah.
He's not getting that seat.
No, he's not getting a Sauber seat. If they have a choice over Valtteri and Logan,
yeah. And they're not, and that he's not the long term play unless they want to try and sign someone bigger a year from now and just go ahead and fire Valtteri. I don't know. That's okay. So then Alpine.
Fair.
Haas is full.
Yeah, I doubt. Alpine.
RB, no shot. Yeah. Red Bull, no shot. Mercedes, no shot. Ferrari's full. Where's the seat come from? I thought maybe that Haas would take a flyer on him.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they would do like a Behrman.
Top two for me would have to be either Haas or Sauber. But like Sauber makes the least sense. Haas makes like the most out of anybody.
Yeah. But still. Anyway, it makes the most sense. I feel like Carlos and Albon are going to be like a force to be reckoned with. Yeah. I feel like 2026 is going to be a very exciting year to watch.
I agree.
Williams. I think I've mentioned it many times. I think the Mercedes engine is going to be great. So good things could happen for Williams.
Yeah, he's got a 2-year guaranteed contract and then an option season after that.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, good. I knew it was multi-year.
25, 26, and then like when they announced it, they said 25, 26, and beyond. And then they Rivera said 2 guaranteed years and then an option.
Is it a driver option or a team option or both? Does it say?
Let me see. I don't have specifics on
that. It's probably not. Yeah. It's probably not said. So, well, I'm excited. I think that's a great lineup. I mean, it's one of the better lineups on the grid at this point.
Yep.
I mean, Albon isn't a race winner, but it's hard. Like, who's the better driver? I don't know. So, anyway, but moving on to Checo.
Yeah.
So, listen, Checo is staying at Red Bull. I think we were all... So, listen, everybody's saying, oh, for sure they're going to drop them. And Tommy on Matt and Tommy said, based off just pure vibes, I think he's going to stay. Yeah. And that's what I've been saying. It's like there's no logical reason why they should keep him, but they're going to.
It's Red Bull.
So
with Checo, so yeah.
So, I mean, what's your reaction, Mr. Red Bull fan?
I mean... Do
you think he deserves it?
No, I don't. I don't think he deserves it. Like, I'm like as a Red Bull fan, like me wanting them to win a championship, I'm not happy. As a Red Bull fan, as in like the people, I'm kind of happy because I get to see Checo a little bit more. But like, it's like a double-edged sword, you know. Like, I'm happy Checo's getting a seat. He's not like, you know, thrown out, eaten by the wolves,
right?
But he's also like really causing Red Bull to do bad right now.
Right.
Like we're going to talk about in our race breakdown. I mean, this past race, he went from 2nd to 8th, or I guess 7th. Or was it?
Yeah. It would have been it would have been 7th.
And Max went from P11 to P4.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's So I mean, do you think Red Bull's in serious trouble because McLaren's 42 points?
Yes,
that's 1 weekend. That could turn in 1 weekend.
Yeah, Lando and Oscar. Let's say Max DNFs. Checo does what he normally does and like finishes like P8 to P10 or even past that with no points.
They're like 5 points behind him at this point.
Yeah, that's a 1 or 2 race weekends and McLaren's in the front, holding the lead.
I think the drivers' championship is squarely out of reach unless something crazy happens. I think there's just a little too much
back and forth between a lot of other races right now to say that Max definitely is not going to be
70. He has a 78 point lead.
Yeah,
like that's a lot.
I doubt. I really doubt that he's not going to win that. The constructors, though, I honestly might call it that Red Bull is not winning it this year because of Checo.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I think McLaren's going to get it.
Which is just, it makes no sense. Even though McLaren is screwing around, they could be in the lead right now. That's the thing. Yeah. They could be in the, and I wonder if they were in the lead, if Red Bull would be willing to make more of a risk. What I think is that Checo keeping a seat means that this is Danny Rick's last season.
Yeah, I also agree with that.
We both read the same thread of like some hidden information, and basically Danny Rick only wants a Red Bull drive.
Yep.
And if they keep Checo next year, they're going to bring up Liam Lawson.
There's no shot.
That they keep Checo next year?
There's no way.
Well, then Danny Rick might keep. All right. So who's?
I'm. If there's 2 options for Red Bull next year, I'm sorry, I do not see Checo in a Red Bull seat at all next year. Even though Red Bull is delusional, I don't think they're that delusional.
I've given up on them doing it. I don't know. Like he must have some Christian Horner secrets or something.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't see why they would. Okay, here's the thing: if they lose the championship, there's no way.
Yeah,
there's no way they're going to keep that.
I agree, but I don't know. It's just like if something is up, and all I know is, I mean, then maybe Danny Rick will stay. But if Checo keeps his Red Bull seat, Danny Rick is out.
Yeah, it's between Lawson and Danny Rick for that Red Bull seat. I think Daniel's going to get it.
I think so too.
And then Liam Lawson will be promoted to V-Carb.
Because they can't risk losing Lawson. They just can't. It's too much. Max.
There's too much talent there.
Max might only stay another like 3 seasons or something. Like that's not enough to, you never know.
Yeah.
He might retire all of a sudden. He might. I don't know.
Just go full pro sim racing.
I mean, maybe Lewis retires in 2 years and he goes to Ferrari. Like you just don't know. Like like anything could happen.
Oh, dude, if Max goes to Ferrari, you're gonna be the most annoying Ferrari fan.
Well, dude, just imagine. Once again, Mercedes is still like kicking around here, waiting on a driver. Like, I don't know, dude. Like that's another logical reason if they think Max is going to leave, why would they get rid of another driver right now?
I don't think Max is leaving next year.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying.
I just can't see a reason they would keep Checo.
Now, hear me out, though. George Russell only has a contract through next year, so George Russell could leave. I don't think he will. I'm just saying there are multiple opportunities for Max to leave.
He's got a chance to be the #1 driver at Mercedes. I think he's going to take that.
I think so, too, but, we'll see. So here's I want to give I had a devil's advocate realization last night when I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
So I will give Red Bull one tiny reason why I think maybe they thought to keep him.
Okay.
And it's kind of makes sense when I have it listed out here. So they said in their statement that we're sticking with Checo and that we look forward to seeing him perform on tracks that he has performed well in the past. Mm-hmm. That's what they said. So I went through the 10 races that we have coming up, and here are his results from those tracks last year.
Okay.
He got P4 in Zandvoort. That's the next race.
Yep.
He got P2 in Monza. He got P1 in Baku. He won Baku. We haven't had that race yet this year. We had P8 in Singapore, but Red Bull sucks in Singapore. We'll let that one go. P4 in Coda. He DNF'd in Mexico. You got to think he won't do that again.
Mm-hmm.
He got P4 in Brazil, P3 in Vegas, P10 in Qatar. That was pretty bad. And P4 in Abu Dhabi. Those are all better race results than he's had recently. So is Red Bull thinking that he's going to perform better on the tracks that he's better at? And they've already gone through the pain of the bad Checo period. Mm-hmm. And they might as well keep him now because they should have fired him 6 months ago. But now, or maybe not 6 months, but you know what I mean. They should have fired him before this stretch of bad races, and now maybe it's going to turn around, and they're going to judge him based off of tracks where he's normally good, and then they'll think, okay, well, Checo's just not good in Hungary, and Checo's not good in Canada, whatever. Yeah. So them saying that makes a lot of sense. I can see them sitting down going, all right, who should be our driver in Zandvoort? Well, Danny Rick hasn't driven there in like a while. He crashed last year, broke his wrist. Not his fault.
Yeah.
But Checo got P4. Mm-hmm. Okay. Monza. Okay. Like, he won Baku, and he's always good in Baku. That's the next 3 races. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know. And if they get rid of Singapore, he got a P4 in the race after that. So it's like, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying I can see the logic that they may have used. If they didn't do this, I have no clue why they kept him. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. It's the only reason they would keep him, I think, is because they think that they've already gone through the worst of it and that it's going to get better.
Yeah.
And they think that for some reason they think that Danny Rick would do worse in Zandvoort and Monza, even though Danny Rick's won Monza.
Yeah.
But maybe they think he's going to win in Baku. I don't know. The thing that's crazy is if he goes like P8, P9 the whole season, but then wins Baku somehow, are they going to be like, he's great, we're keeping him? Like, I don't know. So anyway, any final thoughts on Checo? So are you saying you think if that Red Bull is going to lose the championship?
I mean,
hard to say.
With how things have been going, I just don't see how it's possible with McLaren doing this well.
You know what you need to be? The biggest freaking Mercedes fan ever.
Yeah.
Because Mercedes needs to pick as many points off of McLaren as possible to save Red Bull. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah, that is.
Think about it. Because Mercedes is pretty much out of touching distance of the constructors. They are, let me do the math real fast. Red Bull has 408 points and Mercedes has 266 points. Mm-hmm. So that's 142 points over 10 races. That means they'd have to make up 14 points a race-ish, plus one more. Mm-hmm. On Red Bull, Max is going to score enough to maintain that. So, but if Mercedes manages to go 1-2 every race and Max is 3, Red Bull still wins the championship, but McLaren doesn't. McLaren drops behind Mercedes, and that's what they need. They need McLaren, and then Mercedes and Ferrari to be really good the rest of the season and continue to pick points off McLaren, and then you're safe. But it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. We're going to get a rush to the finish. We could even get an Abu Dhabi showdown out of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because with this math, based off what I just said, going into the final race, McLaren would still be in touching distance, potentially, of Red Bull. So, anyway, I think that's about it in terms of Checo in this update. We wanted to do a quick little video just to talk about this before we put out our breakdown of this last race because there's much to talk about. Any final thoughts?
I really hope Checo pulls it together for his sake, but I don't see it happening consistently.
Dude, and if they keep him next year, 2025 is gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna be mad.
You think so?
I'm gonna be mad if they keep him next year.
So if he duplicates these results,
if he does good the remainder of the season, I don't know. He did that like
it's the same thing. It's the same season. It's repeating itself. Except for Baku was earlier. Baku was like the 3rd race last year or 4th race. All right. Well, anyway, let us know in the comments, should they have kept Checo? You heard my only idea of a reasoning why. I think they should have got rid of him, though. So, All right. That's about it. See you later.
See ya.
Subscribe, follow. Bye.